Good evening, welcome to Pure Tarot. I'm finishing the new moon in Virgo series and I'm doing Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius and Pisces in this particular video. The idea is to set an intention or more than one intention on the new moon, and I was inviting the other signs to maybe think of their intentions with having the full moon in Pisces occurring September 20th in mind, simply because it's called the harvest moon. So it'd be really fitting to associate, the seed that you'd be planting tonight or even tomorrow. You'd still be within that energy of the new moon, and maybe even for some reason contemplate the idea that it might all turn around and be harvested within even just the next 2 weeks. It doesn't have to be. I'm just saying, adding this to the intention might make it a bit more powerful. So let's start with Sagittarius. I have already one card. I'm not drawing that many cards. The idea is to do only 2 of these and one of another deck. That's too many. I'm just going to pull the last one. Okay, Sag. Wow. Okay, so the 4 of Earth and the Ace of Fire. Okay. So, right off the bat, it's a great energy, earth energy to be in, obviously, because the new moon is in Virgo, the earth element of Virgo. And there's a very, how do you say, when people save their money, they're being cautious, they're being, what's the translation? I can't think of the exact translation, but it's really the idea that you'd be saving your money, with maybe an idea in mind of how you'd want to spend it, but you'd want to make sure you rationalize at the moment. Maybe it's a good month to do so. So it's interesting. You'd be like accumulating or putting aside some, and I keep wanting to say money, but yeah, I do get the energy of money here. And I guess the intention is, pertains to the project for which you're saving your money, right? So you'd want to, and it's interesting if it's an Ace of Air, it's quite an important thing. The ace here would indicate that it's a major purchase. It's something that would cost a lot of money, that would make a huge difference in your life. Something of the sort, like it's not a you're not saving for, I don't know, a new pair of shoes kind of thing, or so it feels. But everything's proportionate, right? It's relative to you. So it might be a pair of shoes that cost $1,000. So in that sense, it might be something you really need to save towards. You know what I mean? Again, everything's relative. You apply it as you see fit and how it works out for you. But I want to say that you're being cautious and you're rationalizing and you're budgeting and you're cutting, and you're holding on. You're holding on to the idea that, you're doing this with an idea in mind. So you're not holding on to your money like you'd be, acting like Scrooge. It's much more a very rationalized principle where it's a conscious effort and a discipline in order to get to this big goal here. And this goal is quite beautiful. You know, it's Pegasus, and Pegasus has wings. So I feel that you feel this could take you somewhere. You know, could be, listen, you could be saving for a trip and you'd be flying on a plane. You know, could be that literal, or it could be symbolic as well, right? It all depends. But there's definitely a project in the pipeline. There's definitely a goal in mind. And it's a game changer. It's not a small thing. It's not a small thing. And, you know, yeah, I really get the idea that, you know, you're very conscious of where you need to cut, and, you know, like, I want to say it's down to the details of how you're actually curtailing your budget. You're very, I want to say you're connected to your budget, you know, like you are, I guess, looking at it very closely, but making the right moves, or the right treasury moves, and the right cuts, the right balancing in the right places in order to achieve this goal here. It's so Virgo-esque. So it's quite an energy of, it's interesting because here with the horse, that's very Sagittarian. So it's interesting that you'd be applying the energy of the new moon to work towards a Sagittarian goal. And you know, the full moon will be the harvest moon in Pisces, which is also ruled by Jupiter. So it's, I want to say it's a Sagittarian, Jupiterian goal. And it's interesting, I said it's major. So, you know, Jupiter being such an expansive planet. And I didn't say expensive, but you could probably say expensive and expansive. Because like I said, you're really working hard on aligning the budget towards this big thing. That's really cool. Oh, I like that. All right, let's see what these cards add. I'm only picking one. Interesting. This card for me, in the way I read these cards, this is other people, like almost like the 8th house, other people's money. This is money you inherit. This is money given to you. So it's really interesting. I wonder if you're, I don't know. I feel that on this card, I felt that you were managing your own money, but maybe you're managing someone else's money, or you're managing your household money. So, you know, joint account kind of thing, if you're a family, if you're partnered. But definitely the idea that it's not just your money, or like I said, if it's all yours, it's been given to you by someone else. And maybe that's what it is. Maybe you receive a gift, like some lump sum. You know, again, this is relative. You know, $1,000 could be a lump sum for you, like $100,000 could be a lump sum, right? Obviously, we're all gonna think 100,000 is the lumper sum, but you know what I mean. It's relative to you, to your own situation, and to the goal in mind. And so yeah, that's interesting. Managing that money. So, you know, you're receiving this inheritance maybe, and you're having to, well, first sort out all of the, how do you call it, when they read the will and you have to execute all of the testament and all that. There might be a lot of legalities around that. So a lot of, again, like I said, you have to know exactly what's what, what goes to who. Maybe it could be this kind of situation for real. And if not, then it's like you really want to analyze how you'd be allocating each of these diamonds, right? Each of these pentacles. And again, it's having to do with this goal in mind. This is it's interesting. It's kind of specific, right? All right, Sag, that concludes this. Let's move on to Capricorn. Let's see what the new moon brings. Fellow Earth moon. It's quite a beautiful trine in the earth signs at the moment. Sorry, it was reversed. What am I doing? I meant to read reversals in this reading. I don't know if I turned the cards for Sagittarius. I don't remember. My apologies if I did. Anyway, it's done. But here, the Three of Earth came out in reverse. So let me just pull a second card. Okay, so Three of Earth in reverse, and Patience, which is Temperance in reverse. So Capricorn, what does this say? What does this say? Well, there's definitely a situation that is quite literally requiring your patience, and a situation towards which you are lacking patience. And so it feels like it has to do with, I guess, the way you interact within a team. I'm tempted to say it's at work, primarily at work. It could even be a third-party situation. So if it's within a relationship, you might imagine that there's something in the mix, someone in the mix. It could be a person, but sometimes it could be, I've seen this. I mean, I've heard this, like some friends have told me, oh, my husband is married to his job, right? So I never see him. This kind of comment where basically a third party is not necessarily a person, becomes a thing that gets in the way of the collaboration or the harmonious collaboration, and this is irritating. This is how it comes through. It's irritating to you, Capricorn. There's really definitely a lack of fluidity in terms of even communication, in terms of interaction, in terms of timing. There's no timing here. No sense of timing. It's a little bit difficult, Capricorn, for this new moon. And, I was mentioning there's a grand trine in the earth signs. But it is involving the Sun, Uranus, and Pluto. And Uranus is quite unpredictable. And Pluto, well, is a transformative kind of energy. So it's interesting that although these energies would be flowing, they would they would flow to bring about change, and to a certain degree disruption, right? So maybe this is what you're feeling. You're feeling contradictory, like it sounds contradictory, or anyways, it sounds like a contradiction. What I'm about to say is that there's a very easy flow of things being maybe undone or not just undone, but like it's like saying there's a disruption that comes easily. It's interesting. It's kind of throwing you off balance. It's throwing you off. I don't want to say necessarily off balance, but there's a, yeah, you're being thrown off. Maybe this comes as a surprise, you know, that maybe the third party situation comes as a surprise, and just comes and disrupts everything, and really affects the flow between you and someone else, you within a team. Not an easy energy, I have to admit, for this new moon. Sorry. I would, you know, obviously, I would say maybe, I mean, you're obviously going to decide whatever intentions you want to focus on for this new moon. But if this resonates in any shape or form for you, I could easily see how you'd want to set an intention to restore the flow, to restore the harmony, the collaboration, you know, the good spirit. I mean, to have the good team spirit, you know, like the right, I guess, I want to say the right attitude, you know, for people to be positive. Okay, let's draw here. Oh, we had this card for Aries yesterday. This is a travel card, long distance travel. I also said it indicates the directions of south and west. Doesn't have to be, it's just inherent in the meaning. I think you need movement. You need a change. You need this situation to change. But I think it comes with something has to be removed, physically removed. Something has to. Yeah, it's interesting. Especially if it's a third-party situation and there's really like someone else involved, then there needs to be a physical movement of, you know, the triangle cannot be sustained, so one of the three elements has to come off. Maybe it's you removing yourself. I almost get the notion of self-sacrifice here. It's interesting. Well, I wish it could have been a bit more positive, a bit more upbeat for you, Caps. Okay, let's do Aquarius. Wow, I can't believe this. These are the exact same cards then so Four of Earth, Messenger of Fire, but they were reversed. I can't remember which sign I just did. I think it was in the other video. I think it was Scorpio, and they had both cards in reverse, and the same two cards come together upright. That's really strange. Wow. Sometimes, huh? Okay, I don't know, maybe I'm mixing things. I'm mixing all the reads, I don't know anymore, I'm not sure. Don't quote me. Anyways, so Four of Earth, I was talking to so this card, you know, well, we just did that, right? Where Virgo is budgeting, and yeah, I think it was the Virgo read. I can't remember. I'm sorry. I guess I'm getting tired. So what I want to say here, I want to apply a different meaning. I'm tempted to say that this particular Four of Earth, I get a bit of a fixity. Aquarius is a fixed sign, okay? And I feel that in this case, the Four of Earth is very, not stagnant, but fixated. So I feel that you are kind of hard to budge kind of thing. You have your mind made up about something, and you're not wanting to change your mind. There's something, I guess, you are insisting on, is how it comes through. And maybe it has to do, you know, with wanting to go deep. Sometimes, you know, if we go too fast on something, then we only skim the surface. And sometimes you need to stay in the same place to be able to drill down and get to the bottom of things. And, you know, maybe this new moon in Virgo is about digging deep and making sure that before you move on, you actually have gone, you know, in all corners. And, you know, I guess it's one way of interpreting this energy. But here what's really beautiful is this circle of candles around her head. I don't know, maybe I could put it closer. And it's a makeshift crown. And it's really lighting up the imagination. It's lighting up her spirit. It's like being lit, to use the term to be lit up. And it's really nice because I think that here the homework is done. It comes through as homework now. And so now there's a form of elevation, or definitely moving from a very, I guess, grounded, or where you were going downwards, digging, versus here exploring the total opposite, the realm. It's really coming through as imagination, letting your imagination run wild, you know, and bring you insight. And even the specks here of light, you know, all of these, I I guess like mini bubbles, like if you were to blow bubbles, it's like bubbles floating around. So again, the realm of the imagination. You know, when we have the full moon in Pisces, this is absolutely in line, like new moon in Virgo, full moon in Pisces energy, like big time here. So beautiful bubbles of like mini dreams, floatings. You know, I say mini, but within this mini bubble could be a big dream. So don't mistake that. Mini doesn't mean small, if I may say that. That's beautiful. It's really beautiful. Okay, so there's two cards. I'm going to take both. So Jack of Hearts and Ace of Clubs. So this is about public recognition. It's also art, liberal arts. It's but it comes through. I mean, it's really interesting because I mentioned, you know, the imagination, and so anything artistic would be favored here. And the ace here, this in the way I interpret these cards, this is a gift. So I wanna say that it pertains to a talent. Definitely points to a talent for me. And I really think it has to do. It's a talent that stems from your imagination. Your capacity to have a vast imagination, to use your imagination. It's really, really beautiful, especially coming out of the fixation here. This idea that you were kind of, I don't know, I want to say stuck in one place, but I don't like the word stuck necessarily. It's more like but you know, this could also be, it's non-negligible that you know, sometimes to launch ideas that come from your imagination, you do need you do need, if you want to cultivate your talent and actually create something, you need to make it manifest. You need so non-negligible to actually have this groundedness as a basis, you know, as a launching pad for those ideas, and a way to put them in concrete form is how it's coming through. Really beautiful, Aquarius. I love those little bubbles filled with dreams. It could be just your manifestations. Really beautiful. Okay, last but not least, Pisces. Let's look at this. So it'll be kind of reversed for Pisces. You know, the new moon is sort of... how can I express this? I don't know. It'll just be being the opposite sign of Pisces. You know, the new moon in Virgo will definitely have some impact. Maybe think about where the Virgo Pisces axis, you know, like which houses that pertains to. That could be interesting to look at. So the calling, judgment, and then messenger of earth here. This is very strong. I feel this very strong. It's really interesting. It's. I mean, the word is. You could receive a call. You could, I don't know, hear your calling, discover your calling. I mean, it could be as major as that. It's interesting. It makes me think of, especially with the messenger of earth here. I want to go as far as saying, you know, Virgo Pisces axis is Virgo 6th house, natural houses, versus 12th house for Pisces. So in the 6th house, you know, the calling here pertains to work, to what you would do on a daily basis. Those chores that you do at work, those daily tasks, those so I have a feeling for you, Pisces, that you are focusing on what it is you could rearrange in your daily activities, and even in terms of your work. I think you're feeling a calling to change those set of activities and realign them. That's coming in really strongly. So it's really giving me a 6th house vibe. So the new moon could be pointing to, I mean, not just pointing, but the moment where, again, you'd want to set intentions around changing those. In order to align at the full moon, and so once you know which activities to change and which ones to remove, which ones to keep, which ones to bring in, etc., maybe by 2 weeks' time, you might even be able, in such a short period of time, to already have incorporated those. Like the change could even be in effect right away. That's interesting. There's learning involved. Maybe you're learning new activity, like you're learning new things. Part of the things that you want to install in your life, you know, set up. Maybe there's a chunk of that devoted to learning new things, studying. But there's definitely the idea of a new beginning. And it's interesting because this card would fall on the full moon, but initially this new moon is where you, it's like you decide that you're going to start something new, but you kind of only start at the full moon. It's interesting. It's like you almost need the 2 weeks to, I guess, either set it up or, I want to say, organize, plan. don't know, there's like there's also the idea of repetition here, and I think it's really important because that's really a sixth house topic, is routine tasks. And although sometimes they could be repetitive and boring, they can be extremely productive, and so they're not to be overlooked. And maybe you'll have a lot more ease at getting into a routine. You know, could even pertain to your health, obviously, if we're going to go sixth house matters all the way. Could, you know, be regimen, diets, exercise. But it also pertains to your work. I can say that there's definitely something about work and learning. So there's like three facets. It's like daily tasks related to work, with a portion of learning, studying, as well as taking care of yourself and well-being. It's like totally rearranging your day. Like, I don't know, even let's say if you look at a calendar and you maybe have a certain some sort of weekly cycle, you know, you would rearrange all of your week, remove certain things, plug certain things, and maybe have that week repeat itself throughout the month. But there's a huge overhaul. And you wouldn't have any qualms at being in the routine of it. I don't think. I think you're ready for that. Like, ready in the sense that it wouldn't seem heavy and boring and, you know, cumbersome, or, you know, I think you're really gonna take off with it. It's not gonna bother you. Oh. It's funny. It's funny how I pulled that. Anyways, the Ace of Clubs. So I said the gift. This is a gift. It's interesting. Sometimes this is like a craft. And it's really interesting that I'm saying that you would get into a routine and rituals, and maybe you're crafting your week, right? You're carving time, carving those new rituals, and you receive this as a gift. I feel that for you it's pleasurable. Like, you're happy with the change, and you're happy with the routine, you're happy with the discipline, or whatever. It's beautiful. It's really interesting. It's very down to earth. It's totally in line with the new moon in Virgo. So there you have it. I'll see you soon, guys, sometime later in the month. Take care.